Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Arm Wrestling tonight. This is Hollywood Mate Connelly with the double biceps. It is in the contract and legal required every single time we appear on camera. Appearing on camera right this minute, the man to my left, it could be to your right, depending on what side of the screen you're looking at. It is the master of disaster, the king of sting, the count of Monte Cristo. It is Thunderlips, the ultimate male. It is your friend and mine. It is the winner of the Dave Stockbridge of the Year award, the illustrious award held by the illustrious man with the illustrious beard. It is none other than Dave Stockbridge.
Well, thank you very much, Hollywood Matt Connelly. It's a joy to be here on the 17th Matt Connelly podcast of the day. Absolute joy, Hollywood Matt Connelly, as always. But we have ourselves two very, very special guests, two women that will be going head-to-head at the next AWE event being held here in Adelaide this Sunday. To the bottom left-hand side of the screen, it is your Indian champion. She is undefeated on the subcontinent. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Chetna Sharma.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Hi. Hi, Matt. Hi, Dave. Hi, Franch.
Hello.
And on the bottom right-hand side of the screen, she is a South Australian champ. She is the South Australian delegate to the Australian Arm Wrestling Federation. She is a local arm wrestling icon. She's beating massive bodybuilders by the beach every Sunday here in Adelaide. Ladies and gentlemen, is Franch Mcgee.
Yo.
Well, ladies, toe-to-toe this Sunday at the AWE event. The last time we saw Franch at an AWE event, it was singing the national anthem. This time she steps up and is on the table. It's very hard to find somebody for Franch to compete against here in South Australia. So we are particularly blessed to have Chetna making her way to her very first AWE matchup. Ladies, this is a big moment for AWE. It is fantastic to have women on the table once again. Of course, we had Ashley Huerta and young Keziah Harrington on the table about a year ago now, and of course Ashley Huerta walking away with the women's championship. Since then, top female competitors are few and far between, and so it is wonderful to have both of you women of such a high quality and caliber here in Adelaide at the same time. Chetna, I guess you've been competing at the highest level in your country for a very, very long time. You've been a familiar face at Asian Championships, at World Championships, and of course have competed on the Pro Punja League stage as well. So you're no stranger to top level competition. How does it feel to be now in Australia and competing at AWE?
First of all, thank you, Matt and Dave, for giving me this opportunity. AWE, I have always wanted to play for AWE. First time I got to know about AWE in 2023 when India's #1 arm wrestler Mazai Saidu had the match against Ryan Bowen. So I saw the t-shirt and then I saw many Indian arm wrestlers wearing the t-shirt black, written in red, and I was like, oh, damn, I want to wear one of these and play AWE competition. But then I'm mad. Dave gave me one t-shirt, gifted me one t-shirt, but I'm just wearing it in the gym to work out, but never got to compete. So after 2.5 years almost, I'm getting to play AWE, and I'm very grateful and excited to play. So even though I have been arm wrestling quite some time now, no matter how much experience you are, no matter how much you are into this arm wrestling game, every match makes you a little nervous and excited. So the nervousness and the excitement is same as the first match I played in my life. It's the same for January 18th. I'm excited.
Well, they say if you don't feel the butterflies, then there's something wrong. So it's and no one's going to be more nervous than Matt and I, just so you know. So
I'm not sure about that.
Everybody, if you are not nervous and not a little bit not scared and have the nervous energy on stage, then what's the point?
Yeah, exactly. There's probably something wrong there. And
Yeah.
so, how long have you been arm wrestling now?
I was introduced to arm wrestling in 2011.
Hmm.
So I have known arm wrestling or played arm wrestling on local, like college level, district level, local town level from 2011. But I stopped. I was doing my engineering, so I have stopped arm wrestling for almost 3 years of my life. That's 2014, 15, and 16, and have been religiously and regularly playing since 2017.
Right.
So yeah, from 11 to 17 it was on and off, but from 17 it's regularly I've been playing in India. Then I have been selected for world championships multiple times, but due to office issues I didn't get leave, then financial issues and many blah blah blah. I didn't get to play world championship. But last year, no, last year, it'll be 2024. I played Asian Championship that held in India, and I got silver medal. So, and I have a dream of playing World Championships at least once in my life. Let's see.
Amazing, amazing. So, what are and tell us about the state of the sport in India back in 2011. Now we understand it's huge. Was it such a big deal back nearly 15 years ago?
India has always been an arm wrestling, even though we don't have quality in the world level like those European nations. We always had quantity because you all know India is very highly populated. So in 2011 also in a district championship we will have 2 days of district championship. We had to have. Then state championship would be 3 days of state championship. It was like that, but nobody knew us. The amount of hard work we put into, or the number of competitors were same, but nobody knew us before. Even though we become national champion, nobody, even we visit somewhere, nobody used to know any arm wrestler. People know bodybuilders more than arm wrestlers. Then
Hmm.
came Pro Punjab League in 2020 February, and after that, Pro Punjab League has all these PR agencies and done lots of promotion, and then people started to know us. Like people outside of India never knew me. I was a 6-time national champion till Pro Punjab came, and nobody knew me. And then suddenly everybody started to know me. Oh, she's an arm wrestler. She's an arm wrestler. So I would visit uh, gym and all, and then everybody will be say, "Oh, you were Chetna Sharma. You were an arm wrestler. You play Pro Punjab, right?" So Pro Punjab has given us that boom in Indian arm wrestling. But
Mm.
the quantity of arm wrestlers were same, has been same forever.
Right. Wow. So it seems like it's more culturally entrenched in India than it might be in other countries.
Yeah, actually, I won't say that European countries. There are European countries where arm wrestling is nationally recognized, where they take arm wrestling as a sports and as a livelihood. In India, it's not like that, but the passion is same. Like I always knew that I'm not gonna get paid from arm wrestling. I always had that thing. I had to study, get a job, or do something else in my life to for a livelihood. But I had the passion, and I did arm wrestling for passion, not for money. And there are several arm wrestlers like me in India. The last national championship I played was 2024. We had 3,000 entries for national championship, and those
Wow.
3,000, and let me tell you, those 3,000 entries came from, there will be first club level entries. In club level, you'll be selected two silver and gold and silver will be selected. Then for after club there will be district. In district, only gold and silver is selected. Then you go for state, and from each state in each category, only two athletes would be selected. So it was a tough selection, filtration, filter. Then you get to national championship, and there were 3,000 athletes, 1,100 women athletes in national championship. The last national championship I
Wow.
competed in.
Incredible. And had you done any type of other training beforehand, like powerlifting or bodybuilding, or have you always just trained for arm wrestling, and that's where you've got your strength base from?
Actually, my family is into sports. My father is a sports person. He still plays. He is 77 years old and he still plays athletics. He's going to play in February. He has national championship for athletics. So, and my paternal side, everybody is into football, like soccer or athletics or any like weightlifting, powerlifting. So I had the sports in my maybe in my blood. So I have been playing sports since I was a kid in school. Then I would play inter school, then inter college. Then I started arm wrestling. I thought, no, I will be an arm wrestler. I want to play arm wrestling. But I didn't know that arm wrestling was a thing. I thought maybe college level is it. I didn't know there were national championship, Asian world, blah blah blah. Then I suddenly knew when I got interested. But I have always had a thing for strength sports. So side by side, I played powerlifting also. So arm wrestling and powerlifting went hand in hand.
Wow. And my first exposure to France was around the fight game and being in the room for big fight nights and the like. And France was always kind of behind the scenes and helping the team out, kind of knew everybody in the room, and I wasn't quite sure how or why, but France, you've got that background in combat sports and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, haven't you?
Yeah, I did started jiu-jitsu, I think 2016 maybe. Just I watched Here Comes the Boom and went, I want to do something, and friends said try jiu-jitsu. I didn't know literally nothing about it. Found one near me, showed up, and he showed me some submissions. I went, I love this. And I started training. I was training like 4 times a week at one point. I competed states a couple times. It was hard when I was training because it wasn't very big for women. Like, it was really hard getting competitors. It's blown up heaps now, which is great. But in the middle of that, I suffered some pretty hectic health issues and had to stop training, but like was still involved where I could. So I would like work at the events and spoil the events and do all that sort of stuff as much as possible. But yeah, had a baby and sort of was training like a little bit, and then found arm wrestling and went, yeah, I'm going to do that now.
And did you see, was there much that you were able to translate out of? Because I would imagine with grappling and positioning and leverage in jiu-jitsu that there might have been something, and certainly grip strength, that you were able to translate onto the table fairly early on.
Yeah, so some of the stuff, like even the press made sense to me because I was used to having to maneuver my body into positions to put my weight behind it and put stuff on, and that made sense. Whereas I know that some people struggle with the press, but I'm like, no, that my brain's there, like we're good. Some stuff does not make sense to me, but there is a lot, and I noticed that when I was still training jiu-jitsu and arm wrestling at the same time. When I first started arm wrestling, everyone was like, what the heck's happened to your grip? It's got so strong. Like, I remember one time I had I was rolling with my coach who was a black belt, and I just gripped the back of his ankles so he couldn't go anywhere, and he could not get out of my grip. He's like, what the heck, man? Like, what is going on here?
It's a little bit like having a superpower, isn't it, all of a sudden?
Yes. Yeah, it was cool. And like, because you sort of, I guess beforehand I hadn't thought to use it, like it's not something you're sort of taught as much. But then I was like, no, I've got strong hands. Let's use them. Let's do this. And it did help level up my jiu-jitsu a little bit too.
And our sport really depends on community builders, and I think you're really one of those people, Franch. Like, you very early on were able to get actively involved in supporting the community as a whole, and you're now the South Australian rep to the Australian Federation. Is this a role that you've kind of picked up in your other endeavours? Have you always been one of those kind of nurturing, caring, kind of community, bringing people together type of people?
Look, no, it's not something I'm like, I'm going to do this, but where I can ever see somewhere where I can help or I can be involved, I'll do it. If I can see something, and like, I guess like with jiu-jitsu, I love jiu-jitsu for the fact that, like, for me, my mental health was improved tenfold when I started, and I know how good it is. So I'm like, if there's anything I can do to support that, let's do that. And with with arm wrestling, like the club that we have is, very male dominated, but I love that it's like a safe space for masculinity. Like, these guys, and like, I remember one of my first times I came, and someone had been working out a fair bit, and one of the other guys, oh, hey, look at your stretch marks, it's so good. And like, it was healthy masculinity, and I'm like all about that. Like, let's encourage that. Let's make this a place where men can come and be men and healthy and have other role models. Like we have people in the club like Matt and Grant and people that are great male role models for, and I just think it's a great community thing. I'm huge on mental health for men in Australia. Like I think that is something that Australia severely drops the ball on. And so anything I can do to encourage that and foster that, I'm all about.
So may I ask them, why is it that you humiliate large muscular men at the beach in the way?
No, it's just men. It's just Ben.
Okay.
Just Ben.
Just Ben.
To be fair, that big. Okay, Ben threw me on the table for that with that guy. So that I was just watching. Ben was teaching him, and then Ben goes, "Oh, Franch." I was like, "That guy's going to throw me across the table. What are you doing to me?"
He was huge.
He was, and the I don't know if it's the best part or the worst part, but like Danny, my boyfriend's parents, uncle and auntie and godmother were all there to watch that happen.
Wow.
I was like, oh no.
I think Danny got the message. Don't muck around. And Chetna, obviously arm wrestling is predominantly a male sport. How have you found back home and now as you're traveling the world, how have you found finding women that are a similar size to you to be able to compete and hone your craft against? Or are you always kind of training with other men or with men, I should say?
I have seen one thing. I haven't seen in Europe, especially in Georgia, I haven't seen women of my size. I look way bigger than all the other women, but they are way stronger than me. I am bigger and I have muscles. Like my opponent, my first DVW match opponent. Okay, she is an 8-time world champion, so that means something. I am a 0-time world champion, but still she was leaner. I was in the stage. I look much muscular and bigger, and to be very frank, physically I was much stronger than her. But she knew how to arm wrestle much more than what I knew. If I knew this much, she knew this much. So that's how she defeated me. So I have started to learn that only with strength, you need to, yes, up to a certain level, like to India level, in my case, I could do it with strength. Now, when you go above that in world level, along with strength, you're going to have brain and have that like presence of mind, table IQ, you're going to have that. And in strength department, I have confidence, but table IQ, I have to there is a huge scope for me to develop in that front.
Is it somewhat of a shock when you have been competing at the highest level in your own respective country and you know you're right there and you're not really encountering anybody that's a higher level? Is it a little bit of a like a shock, or does it expose the layers in the sport when you do have one of those experiences where you then travel and you come across somebody who's all of a sudden a couple of steps further ahead and it doesn't quite make sense? Does that mess with you, or does it kind of urge you on to want to train harder and get better?
I am much more happier and at peace now because I have always known I don't think I'm stupid in the sense to think that I'm the strongest in India, so I'll be the strongest in the world. No, there is always a bigger fish in the pond, and I knew in India level, like I have been undisputed since 2013. I haven't lost a match, so I knew that this is it, and I need further. And I already knew that there will be women who I watch on YouTube. They look very lean, and they will come and flash pin me. I already knew that, but I didn't get a chance to face one of them because I belong to a different country and they belong to a different country. So in my first super match, actually my match was supposed to happen with another woman who was a world silver medalist. So at least a bit my part, even though she's a silver medalist, I have no medals still. And then 2 weeks before the match, she had a shoulder injury and she backed out. And suddenly this woman, thanks to her, she stepped in and said, okay, I will have the match. But she was an 8-time world champion. So I knew I was going to lose. I already told everyone I'm going to lose, but I will learn. And getting to grip up with the 8-time world champion will give me a lot of knowledge. And trust me, I learned a lot. I learned what I have and what I don't have, and what I have to do to proceed further. And that's what always I have been thinking that I need a step further, for that I need to go international. I need to go international. I always knew that, so it has intrigued me, not made me a bit. Oh, what happened? No, shocked. I already knew it.
And
I'm happy.
what was the skill set gap in that match that that your opponent had that you didn't? You mentioned it was table IQ, but was there anything that you walked away and went, oh, you know what, I'm really going to work on my riser, or I'm going to work on my setup, or what is it that you kind of felt that you really needed to work on in order to be a little bit closer next time?
There were thousands of things I could find out that I need to work on, and the number one thing was I should learn how to make my opponent look bad, look like the bad guy in front of the referee. That's what she exactly did. So
Yeah.
what we do in India is we fight for grip, and I'm stronger. We have that ego, but she never did it. I gripped her and she gave her hand, and she didn't do anything wrong. She was within rules. She made me look like the bad guy in front of the referee, and once you look like the bad guy in front of the referee, your game is over. So that is number one lesson I learned, and like that I have I learned thousands of lessons, thousands of points. I pointed it, and I'm working on it.
Wonderful,
And
wonderful.
a very important tool.
And Franch, you kind of have a similar dilemma, but maybe even more exacerbated here in Adelaide. If people don't know where Adelaide is, just look at a map of Australia, go to the middle, then all the way down, and just before you get to Antarctica, that's where we are. And so France literally couldn't be any further away from the rest of the arm wrestling world and still be on the same planet. So finding quality female competitors is very, very difficult.
Finding female competitors, full stop, quality or not. Like sometimes I would just like to pull a female, and there are none.
Yeah, and so how do you? Is it just training with the boys is how you sharpen your sword?
Yeah,
and
you know.
Yeah.
So it was the same with jits as well. Like there was not women, you know, and so I was used to just having to roll with the guys and work it out, you know. And like the guys are good. In our club, they're pretty good. They'll hold back a little bit so I can actually work on stuff instead of just 50 million flash pins. And there are a couple of guys that I'm, you know, fairly close to. So we have some wars and like build muscle and just endurance and stuff. So it does work. But I do find that when I pull against women, they pull so differently to men. Men and women pull so very differently.
In what way? I'm curious. What do you?
I think guys, because they're naturally stronger, they tend to just rip in and use all that strength, whereas women have to use technique. And women, most women I've pulled are so much more technical, and their setups are so like everything is just very intentional with women, and it's a very different pulling experience. There's a lot less ego and a lot more like scientific engineering.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and that might benefit Chetna because she has just mentioned that she did do that engineering degree. So she's very.
I am not an engineer, so I'm about to have the.
I was pretty good at that engineering, and I am a mediocre in this engineering as of now. I have to see.
And so now you've got this match up at AWE. Have you had the chance to watch over any footage, Chetna, of your competitor? Like, how do you feel? Where's your pathway to victory here? We don't want you to give away too much, of course, but like, how do you feel like this match is going to go? Have you got any predictions?
I could never predict any match because I have seen people in my life multiple times. They would say, "Oh, I will win 3-0," then they lose 3-0. And I have seen people, they will say,
I will lose 3-0.
Then there are people who would say, "Oh, I think I cannot do anything to her," and then they win. So I have always had this thing that you never know. It's in arm wrestling, you never know anything.
Yeah.
You cannot predict anything. It's an unpredictable. And if it's your day, at the day of the match on the table, after gripping, even after ready go, sometimes you feel like you're getting it, but you lose.
I kind of feel like Franch might have some advantage here because there is a lot of footage of you online, Chetna, of you arm wrestling, you setting up. So there might be an opportunity here for Franch to kind of review all of that information and maybe come up with a plan here, Franch. Have you done any of that? And are there any plans brewing there?
My
I am
plan is to not have the floor wiped with me. That's my plan.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
And technically, do you feel like there's something that you've got that you've got an advantage here? Is there a technical advantage anywhere, or maybe a chink in
Chetna's been
Chetna's armor?
training since 2017. What technical advantage am I ever gonna have? I've been training for 2.5 years. Like, this is going to be a huge learning opportunity. If I can at least slow down a pin, I'll be really happy. Honestly, like
have you
I'm
heard
coming
of
into it.
Ricard? His name is Ricard Bondman, right? Have you heard of Ricard Bondman? He has been
Yeah.
he started arm wrestling for like 2-3 years back, and he has been defeating people who have been arm wrestling for like 20 years. So you never know.
Ricard and I are very different sizes, Chetna. I have had a photo next to Ricard Bornman and I look like a child. But no, look, I'm going to do my absolute best, and I'll try to do what I can work out. But I will be happy. Like I said, Chetna is an incredibly experienced opponent. She's very strong. I'm coming in there to learn and to do my absolute best and hope for the best.
Well, I do hear a
Thank
lot
you
of that
for
comparison often
just
between
because
Franch
you said
Mcgee
you
and
want
Ricky
to
Ballman.
compete. Just because you said you want to compete, I got this match, and thank you for that.
You're so welcome.
It should be a great matchup, great fun, and a great opportunity to see these two young ladies on the table, absolutely going toe-to-toe at this AWE event. I'm really looking forward to it. It's great to be able to showcase women in the sport and to have this opportunity to have Chetna here in the country at exactly the same time as that we're holding this event is a real blessing. So thank you so much, Chetna, for coming over, and thank you so much, Franch, for sticking your hand up and willing to put it all on the line for AWE glory here in Adelaide.
I appreciate the use of your word "young" when describing us. That was very kind of you. So thanks for that.
That's okay. You're the female Rika Bowman of our sport. You're afforded all the courtesies.
Playing for AWE was in my bucket list this year. Thank you for. Yeah, thank you. And it is happening in January. So thank you for giving me this match. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Well, we absolutely cannot wait. And if you do want to be in the room to watch this match, an opportunity still presents for you to do so. You can head over to the AWE website. You'll see all of the details there. It's at the Hotel Grand Chancellor, Hindley Street, Adelaide. Festivities kick off from 1 p.m, so make sure you're in the room, and you'll see not just this amazing matchup, but there will be 3 other matchups. There is a rumor I'll be taking on another Sharma, another Ash Sharma. I'm sure you're related. I'm sure you're probably in the same family, because there wouldn't be too many Sharmas in India, I'm sure. But
there are lots of Sharmas in India. India is the highest populated country in the world.
No, there isn't.
I know him. I know him.
It's like Smith.
You'd have to know him.
Ryan Bowen's jumped in with a question. He says, "Who's going to win the last man standing?"
Oh, the last man. So, well, this is something for the ladies to predict. Maybe we'll.
You know what? Based on what I've seen lately at Over the Top and everything, I would be surprised if Mario didn't come out pretty well.
Ooh. Ooh.
But yeah,
you're shifting the betting markets with this. You know that, don't you?
I know nothing. I'm a pleb. I'm a pleb with nothing. But that's just based on my observations. I will be surprised if he doesn't do pretty well. But that's maybe
why
Brett.
Mario specifically? Because a lot of the smart money so far has been on Brett.
Yeah, so Brett would be the other one that I was like, but his endurance is pretty good. And I feel like that's probably the biggest key for this kind of event, is that you want to be able to like keep that energy up. Brett was the other one that I was thinking, but I hadn't seen him pull in a little while, but I did see Mario fairly recently. So that's why I said Mario. But yeah, Brett's the other one that I like. They're probably my 2 that I'd be going, yeah, that'd be one of those. But that's what I know. That's what I don't know. I mean, I know nothing.
Chetna, if Ryan was not competing, let's take Ryan Bowen out of the equation. Let's take that one off the table. If Ryan wasn't competing, how would you see it?
There is a difference between whom I want to win and whom I think will win.
Well, be very, very careful here, Chetna. I'm thinking of your
So,
relationship and
so even if Ryan Bowen is competing, I want
Whoa.
him to win, and I want him to win, and I think Matayarangi, he will, and I think he will win. I want Ryan to win.
You're a
but I
brave
think-
woman, Chetna. Brave woman. Right in
He's
front of
like-
him, you're saying, I think he's going to lose.
That's my assumption. What's the point if I have to think from his brain?
That's why Dave was really nice and gave you the out.
I tried my best to keep this relationship together. We want you both here in Adelaide. You're sharing a hotel room. I don't want to cause any issues. It's a long flight from Brisbane, so
It's okay. I have muscles.
Okay,
Don't worry
about that. I forgot about the muscles. So that's interesting. So Matayarangi is where you'd be putting the money, and Mario Tambakis.
And Brad Coots also. I think Brad Coots have endurance.
And Brett Coots.
And Ryan told me he has never beaten Brett. And Ryan told me he has never beaten Brett, so I think Brett Coots and Matayarangi is strong, but I think he's 180 kg. So endurance, maybe I'm not sure. I don't know his endurance level, but these two guys I'd go for. I think, and I want is different.
Okay. Well, I'm going to, just because I know Ryan's there in the back, I'm going to say I'd like Ryan. I think Ryan's going to win. I think that's what I'm going to go with Ryan. No worries, mate. Matt, we haven't heard anything. Are you going to hold on to your? Do you actually have a clear winner coming about in your mind? Because you're normally really good with your predictions. You give this a lot of thought, and you talk to a lot more people in the arm wrestling world than I do. So, what's the buzz amongst the arm wrestling community, and what's your thoughts? Break it down for us.
No, I think the strategy is going to be really important. And when we had Ryan on the show last week, he was discussing his strategy of trying to rack up as many pins in a row as he could early. And then when he does start to get tired, to start relying on the King's move, which will tire out his opponents even more. So that aspect is quite a clever strategy. Brett Coots, when I had a chat with him, he said, yeah, but he's got to be able to get those flash pins. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes, especially over an entire hour. You know, you've got some of the best guys around the country competing, and they're going to be going against each other a lot. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple of dropouts throughout the hour, people just getting exhausted. But yes, I think Brett is probably the favorite for that reason of his endurance.
For my mind, the X factor here, we're thinking about the four big names. The X factor is to the draw, because as strong as these guys are, these top four big names, you get a Tyler Harrison, you get into a nasty war with Tyler Harrison halfway through this event. You end up with a niggle, or you might end up losing altogether and lose your momentum in the matchup. Or a Taron Broad, or a Danny Wojcik. Yeah, these are guys that, once the top tier fade a little bit, these guys who might be kind of, they'll have maybe some quick losses, because the technical ability and the sheer horsepower of some of these guys might just mow through them early on. Their ability to set up and get through and get what they want in the setup, because it's all going to be so quick. That experience is going to really play out early on. But you get 10, 15, 20 minutes into this event, and you get some of those big names starting to tire, and a Danny Wojcik comes along and starts destroying, and a big name gets an injury, we might see a bit of a upset here, and we might need to see some of the big names change strategies midway through. and it starts to end up, the strategy goes out the window, and it just becomes a war in terms of, I've just got to get that next pin, and then we see some real arm wrestling. So and in that environment, I will say this: I will say that I've seen Ryan Bowen arm wrestle with basically his tendons hanging off. Like, he will not give up. My fear for Brett is if he does get a twinge, Brett is like a high-powered race car. Like, when he's finely tuned and he's on, he is very hard to beat. But you know, if he just gets it just takes something little just to take him off song, and it might just be the end of his day. Mate Rangi's got he's got that horsepower and that ability just to sit back and hold on to most people, but Ryan has shown time and time again that he can find a way through. So if Brett gets the twinge, Mate Rangi gets tired early, and you know, you've got Mario, who's always Mario's in such good shape and condition, and is so well put together, and is at that optimum weight that he's just going to be, and he's so strong, he's so dangerous. So I'm kind of, I can see exactly where Franch is coming from. So I can see like Mario kind of having the ability to get through if he can stay injury free and his fingers stays up to it. But we do know he's had that injury recently, and this type of competition might exacerbate it. I don't think it matters what kind of injury Ryan Bowen has. I don't think you'll be able to get him off the table. So I kind of, and I think he's got the nous that even at half strength, he can beat people that are maybe fresher and stronger in that moment. So yeah, so anyway, that's my analysis. And
I think it's very difficult to predict the winner in this kind of competitions, because
100%.
it's not a super match, not a tournament. It's like the
There's
last.
so many unknowns.
These guys may tire, and someone else we don't even know might just and win. So you never know.
And this is the most watched match in AWE history. This is Ryan taking the Intercontinental belt to India against Mazahir. Every time I hear his name, it's said Mazahir, because I would say Mazahir, but apparently I've been saying it wrong all this time.
Mazahir.
And he's been, and he's so nice that he doesn't ever correct me. But he and it was just an epic match. And this is what I'm talking about. Ryan Bowen is just tough to beat, you know. So a lot of heart. There we go.
And I hated him for almost a year for this match. Almost all the Indian arm wrestlers almost cried. I cried. I literally cried. It was November 10th or November 11th. Yes. 2023. I cried, and then I hated him for 1 year for this.
So do they consider you a traitor now then, Chetna?
Huh?
Do they consider you a traitor now then, that you're, you know, in love with him? All the other Indian wrestlers, or they're like, she's betrayed us. She's gone to the dark side.
Professional life and personal life are two different things. But still,
Also,
today, if he plays with some Indian, I will support my Indian.
When you watch that match, I'd love to hear this thought. On that last round where Messiah got a pin, and the crowd went crazy, and they thought that he'd won the match, but it was an elbow foul and they had to restart it. Did you think that he'd won the match at that point, or were you like, oh no, it's a...
No, I was. So I had a friend who was present there. I was in a video call with him. I was watching live in the video call from my office, and he was standing exactly on Mazahir's side back. So I saw the foul directly. I was on the camera was on Mazahir's side and on this side, so I saw the foul, but I was praying, oh God, please don't give foul, make the referees and everybody blind.
Yeah. What about the power going out halfway through the match? That was
Then it was a foul. Then when he stopped, I said, "Oh, it's gone."
it's one of the best matches that I've
Yeah.
personally witnessed, and being there in person was absolutely amazing in front of such a huge, big audience of very passionate arm wrestling fans, and it couldn't have been
Not
closer.
like the
It came down.
drums.
Yeah, absolutely.
The drums they play after each
Yeah.
round.
The drums, the atmosphere, the announcers screaming and yelling. It was a lot of fun, and we can't wait to go back and do some more
Lots
stuff
of people,
over in
lots
India.
of people in India.
I think we need drums, Matt. I think we need drums at these events.
Well,
Danny's a drummer.
We weren't sure when we got to the arena that this was the right place.
Didgeridoo, what is called? You should call it. You should organize a didgeridoo or something. What do you call it?
Maybe, yeah. We weren't sure because the taxi driver kept pulling up in random spots, and he would get out and we're like, oh, I guess this is the place. And then he would get a pack of cigarettes from it, and then he would come back, and it's like, oh, and then he'd keep driving.
From Delhi.
That happened about 4 times. So when we actually got to the place, we didn't get out because we're thinking, oh, it's just another stop. And then we heard all the drums playing, and it was like, oh no, I think this is it. It was like, all right, and we got out, and there was like this.
From Delhi to Assam, it's a long journey by car. Very, very long journey by car.
It was, yeah, for sure. But it was like 4 hours.
Oh my God!
4 hours there and 7 hours back somehow.
The taxi driver was taking longer cigarette stops on the way back, obviously.
Yeah. Well,
peak hour.
It was peak hour, yeah.
Peak hours from like 8 p.m. until 3 a.m. That's peak hour.
Oh, wow.
So,
in India, 24 hours peak hour. You get out of your house at 2 a.m. in the morning, and you will see lots of people in the street. When I first came to Australia, I landed in Sydney. It was not a weekend, it was a weekday, and it was like 12:30 or 1 o'clock. I landed and I asked Ryan, like, where are all the people? Then he said, this is it. I said, what? It's not a weekend. It's not a weekend. It's not night. It's daytime. It's a weekday. Where are all the? This is it. This many people. I was shocked. We have people everywhere.
You wait till you see Adelaide.
Huh?
Sorry.
I was like, wait to see Adelaide. It's even quieter than Sydney.
Oh, in India, you don't, even if you are depressed, you have no space to get into depression. The people don't let you get into depression. They will be like, hey, no, please, get out.
We hope you're going to see a few people here in Adelaide, and I'm sure there's going to be some arm wrestling fans in the room who'll be very excited to meet the Indian champion Chetna Sharma, and of course she will be taking on Franch Mcgee, South Australia's very, very own, in a big matchup. We absolutely cannot wait. I want to wish both you ladies all the very best of luck come Sunday. And we look forward to seeing the big matchup. Hollywood Matt Connelly, any final thoughts before we go away?
It's going to be a lot of fun this Sunday, January 18th. If you're in Adelaide, come along to the Grand Chancellor Hotel from 1:30 p.m. and you will see some of the best arm wrestling that you'll see in this side of the world.
You'll also see me arm wrestling. So,
yeah. And Matt, just a final question.
And you.
Just a final question before we go away. Can we see the biceps one more time?
Oh, well, it's a big ask.
Do you have like a panoramic camera just so they fit in the same screen, or?
I have to lean because you can't get all of
it. There we go. That's what we want. Very good. Very, very good. Very, very happy about that. Thank you, Hollywood Matt Connelly.
Thanks, guys, so much for having us.
Thank you so much for having us.
See you Sunday.
See you.